Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your end of February 2019 General Tarot Update. I'm Raina. So my fellow Sagittarians, how has February treated you so far? I can just talk about myself. It's been a very intense month so far, and even going back from January, it's been carrying through, but in different ways. And so I'm just curious if you have been experiencing similar situations in your life. Now, this brings me to a larger point that I'm going to probably put on at the beginning of every video. Astrology is a tool. The tarot is a tool. Tools mean that the person has to work with them. They're not a substitute for action, inspired action. So if you're sitting here and thinking, oh, my life sucks, I want to know what's going to happen, when is all this bad stuff going to end, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis in your own life? Passivity doesn't cut it. Sometimes passivity is important, though, if you're a type A personality. So I won't say it 100%. But if you're somebody that has trouble getting, how can I put it, motivated, you have to figure out what it is that you want to pour your energy into. But a tarot reading on YouTube ain't going to lead the way unless you approach it with intention, unless you say to yourself, I am going to use this reading, I'm going to try to find some message in it. But I guess I'm saying all that to say this. If you don't resonate with the message or the messenger, just move on. You don't have to get the outer world to conform with your method of doing things. If you like to hear things in a certain way, there are so many options out there. What I find, and this is true of like relationships, if you're with somebody and I'm talking about at the beginning of the relationship, when you still have time to, easily remove yourself, and you just don't vibe with this person in a very serious way in maybe one area, and you pour all your energy into getting them to change, that makes no sense. You do you, and you let them be on their path, and find somebody who's more aligned with your lifestyle. That's it. And so I just wanted to remind people that there are options out there. And you don't have to make everything conform to what you want. And that these readings are done with the intention, not of being a fortune teller, but of being a messenger. Big difference. Big, big difference. Oh, what a cheery. I should have known based on how February has gone so far. I should have known. All four of those cards are doozies. But I can see the message for myself already. Oh, I love it. Yes. I actually love this spread. I mean, these cards, Sag, just because I'm a sun in Sagittarius myself, and I can relate. Okay, so the heart of the matter at the end of February, Sag, is the Death card. The Death card is a card of something has to go. Something's got to give. Do you know what it is in your life? You probably do, but you're probably saying, yes, but I'm going to then. Something has to leave your life. A relationship, an addiction, an unfulfilling job, an attitude of apathy. It could be an attitude. It doesn't have to be like a tangible thing. I mean, it's possible that you're dealing right now with the aftermath of somebody's death. That's always a possibility, physical death. But usually with the death card, I think of transformation, because the death card does connect with Scorpio. So, you know, what needs to transform in your life? And how can you get there? Because it's easier said than done. There's no question. I don't want to make everything out to be so simple with a snap of the fingers. In the past position, we have the Ten of Swords, which is a card of betrayal. And I want to just speak on this, because when we say betrayal, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm not in a relationship with anybody, so this card doesn't apply to me. It doesn't have to be a romantic situation where you were cheated on. This can be with a feeling of betrayal by a parent. And it could have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It could be betrayal by a coworker or a best friend who told somebody something that you didn't want anyone to know. And maybe there were a series of events that followed, or it could have simply been something that you made too much of, that you acted like this is the end-all be-all, and it really wasn't. But it still kind of grates on you, the idea of it, the audacity, or the violation that you felt, the violation of trust. And the thing is, I think too, with the number 10, is that the worst is over. So 10 is the end of a cycle. So if you've been suffering, Sag, your suffering is over. So it's like, get off the cross already. You're okay. The death card is letting go of the need to stay stuck. The transformation is already there, and it's waiting for you. Your new life is waiting for you. But you may be afraid to really go after what you want for some reason. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I said afraid, and this is the card of anxiety. The Nine of Swords. This is the card of feeling very much like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And yet, there may not be a logical reason for that. You may have a lot of good things going on in your life, and you're focusing on one area that isn't where you want it to be. And I think if that is true for some of you, it can be like, and that the pessimistic thinking is still present in your life. And Sagittarius as a sign is an optimistic sign. Sagittarians, by and large, are not people who look at the glass half empty. But anyone can grow up, even a Sagittarian can grow up in a household that they witness a lot of negativity in that space, a lot of criticism, a lot of things that make them think that life is a certain way when it's really not. That was kind of the outlier. And so it kind of warps your view, in other words, of your potential of what life can be. And the other thing, too, is that if we look at astrological placements, if you have the sun in Sag, because I'm thinking of people with a lot of Scorpio, maybe your moon is in, it could be in Scorpio or Capricorn, and there's more of a cynical nature at times of, like, seeing other people automatically in a negative light because you've been hurt before. Or I was going to say Mercury in Pisces, or, oh no, it can't be in Pisces, in Capricorn or Scorpio instead of Sag. And the moon, but I mean the moon could be in Pisces too. And the Death card is about letting go of your story. I mean, I think that's what it is now that I think about it. So that when somebody says, tell me something about yourself, or you're at a party, or that you say, well, I was abused, I was this, I was that. If this reading seems kind of heavy, it's because the Death card is at the center of things. And we have to look at our shadow. We have to look at what we refuse to let go of. The Death card is about necessary endings. Transitions. And you can either transition gracefully or kicking and screaming. It's your choice. The advice is represented by the Seven of Swords. So this is a card of strategizing. I mean, it is a card also sometimes of theft, physical or maybe intellectual, or cheating, or what's the other thing? Just kind of underhanded behavior, or just like kind of like getting away very surreptitiously, kind of sneakily away from a situation that you don't want the person to know, slinking off into sunset. But I think that this is also a card of strategizing. And it could be that you need, oh my gosh, I gotta like plug in my thing. I got like 3 minutes and it goes off. Uh-oh, you guys. I don't want this to go off because I don't want to start over again. Okay, there we go. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. But so strategizing, because you know that it's going to take time for you to move on with your life. That it's not like snap your fingers and everything is just, there it is. Now I've just totally changed my life. No, it's a work in progress. There was something else. What I wanted to say too about the Seven of Swords is that, let's say this is a workplace situation and you do feel betrayed and you do say, you know what, that's it, I'm out of here. And maybe that's the Death card, but you can't let go yet. The Seven of Swords is like strategizing. Okay, well, where can I go? Can I interview with other companies and not let my boss know? Not jeopardize my job. Things like that, where you're not being in your face and telling the boss off and then burning bridges and things like that, but you're being very cunning. I think this is a card of being cunning. And sometimes being cunning is necessary in life in order to maintain order in your life. Of course you can always just go and say, screw you, but then you have to face those consequences. And when you're cunning, I think cunning has a negative connotation, but I don't see it that way at all. You have to be shrewd. You have to be able to play with the big boys in this world. There's some people that are really, they won't think twice about doing something to you. Now I sound pretty cynical, right? But I'm really saying that. But I like the strategizing angle because it's like being methodical. All of you Sun and Sagittarius people, where is your Mars? Mine is in Capricorn. And when I was looking, it said something like, it's exalted in Capricorn. It's the military strategist. So this is because Capricorn is able to wait. They're able to kind of like anticipate and do things in a very disciplined but also organized sort of way. And sometimes people are not, Sagittarians are not known for being organized, are we? We kind of are haphazard. And so being able to kind of write down the steps that you wish to take, and just kind of do things in a very gradual way so that it's comfortable for you, so it's not a shock to your system. I think that is a logical way to do things. What is coming in is represented by the Empress card. This is a card of abundance, creativity, I would say pleasure, love. So now we're talking about a 2-week period here. This has an emphasis on love and creativity. So things that we would associate with the 5th house, even though this card is associated with Taurus and Libra, the 2nd and 7th houses. So this, to me, suggests that if you do the work, which is not, it's a bit daunting because of the swords represent, by the way, thoughts, but also conflict, and that can be very stressful, Sag. But it's a stark contrast. It looks like even the death, whatever you want to call it, the Grim Reaper has a sword even. But if you can master that, you will step into your creativity, your abundance, and if this is a relationship issue, find love in your life, which makes sense. It makes sense that if you do the work, you're going to experience what you're looking for. But it's like letting go, making space for what you want by letting go of something that is not serving you. And this is why I really squealed with joy. The outcome is the Fool card. This is your new journey, Sag. And what I like about this card is I really feel timing. I'll tell you why. The Fool, I think of April Fool's Day. And that's on, obviously, well, not obviously, I don't know how many countries not celebrate it, but know about it, but April 1st. And what sign is the sun in on April 1st? Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. The fact that this is a card of new beginnings, absolutely new beginnings, and we have the Death card and we have absolutely new beginnings, that makes total sense to me. Because it means that you are going through a transition that can lead to, I think they're cleaning off the snow, a transition that can lead to a new life for yourself. Okay? So please think of the areas in your life, maybe it's just one, maybe there are more than one, that you need to clean up in order to step into your abundance and start a new life, Sag. That's what I have for you. If you'd like a private reading, I have the link below. God bless you, Sagittarius. Take care. Bye.